From the top rope to your collection, this collecting the 1, 2, 3 presented by Cardboard Dugout. I'm your host, Moon 3PO, and this is my tag team partner, Bropio, coming through with the episode here. We're gone for a little bit. We'll explain that here in a few couple of short minutes. But before we get into that, Bropio, how you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. But yeah, pretty much like I said, we've been gone, I think, for I want to say what, 2 weeks. So between then, we've had last matches, we had tag teams retiring, we got a group that's been broken up, we got card sales. So yeah, we got a lot that we
Y-
missed. So.
Yeah, we were gone. This episode, judging by the way how I'm handling my schedule and things considering what we have planned for the weekend here, this episode will probably be out on Monday. Uh, Life just got the best of me the last 2 weeks here. Was super busy last week, and then this week here again, we were obviously trying to fit in our schedule to do an episode on Monday because it was Monday morning Raw. Then I got busy, and then we just both got busy here. So we're recording this officially on Thursday, October 16th. So by the time again you're listening to it, it's gonna be on Monday. So some things may have happened in between that. Obviously, we'll be recording again. We'll get back to our normal schedule programming. Typically, we usually record either on Mondays or Wednesdays. So we'll be back into the rhythm of things. But yeah, it was just super busy. I don't know what the hell was going on. Life again got the best of us here. Even kind of missed a few TikTok uploads, some YouTube uploads. So yeah, I apologize if you guys were looking for some episodes here. I know again we do our prediction episodes. We didn't do a Crown Jewel prediction episode, which I did put out a video on TikTok, which toot my horn did go 5-0 in my prediction. So shout out to me there. And then obviously, you guys obviously, if you guys tune into other wrestling podcasts or look on the internet here, obviously there's already been some people who've reacted to Crown Jewel. So we'll do a little bit of Crown Jewel. There's a lot of wrestling to talk about, like you mentioned. So we're just gonna dive balls deep into it. So let's get into this here. So obviously last Saturday morning we did have Crown Jewel. Obviously with these out of the country, out of the US pay-per-views, I don't want to say I'm critical, not necessarily the Australia, obviously it's the Saudi shows that we're a little bit more critical on, but this Crown Jewel, I think, in my personal opinion, it was probably the best one that I can remember. And obviously, there's one match here that we'll talk about in a short couple of minutes here that basically made this PLE one of the best PLEs. It probably should have been the PLE that launched on ESPN Plus or ESPN streaming service, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, I get why they didn't do that, being out of the country and the time zone. I get it. I'm not stupid. But yeah, I think this PLE from start to finish was one of the best ones that we've had in a while.
I think even that week, that the week of Crown Jewel, like that Raw and even that SmackDown were better than usual. So I don't know if maybe whole negative response that they got for WrestlePalooza maybe kind of lit a fire under their ass or something. But yeah, it was a really good one. Had no problem waking up due to the fact that our little 6-month-old baby likes to wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock horny on the weekend, acting like he got somewhere to go and some things to do. So yeah, I had no problem. So me and him were kicking it, watching it. But yeah, I mean, obviously the elephant in the room is obviously the match that everybody's talking about is the last clash between no pun intended, between John Cena and AJ Styles. So yeah, do you want to go first on the match? And I'm pretty sure we have the
Yeah,
same thoughts and stuff like that. So
yeah. I made a TikTok about it, and I'll reiterate again.
yes, you did.
Arguably,
Yeah.
arguably the best John Cena match on the retirement tour, in my opinion. Better, you guys know that we're both CM Punk fans, and we even love the Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam. But this one here took the cake for me as far as of his best match on his retirement tour. Again, we didn't do a prediction episode for Crown Jewel. So I did have John Cena winning this one here, but we didn't even get to talk about how this match wasn't supposed to happen. This match was non-existent. It seems like it was one of those things where John Cena pushed for it. Obviously, us as fans were pushing for it because and we've talked about it here and there. I think if you go back and listen to like the very first episode of collecting the 1, 2, 3, we talked about how, at least for me, I'm pretty sure for you as well, like how much that they had 4 matches, but how much the original trilogy meant to us. Like we were there for when John Cena tied to 16. That's probably like one of my favorite matches of all time, not just because I was there, but that's a match that I could put on the background and watch over and over. Like it's one of my personal, like my top 10 favorite matches. Maybe that's a podcast we do maybe down the line of our top 10 favorite match grab. There's a shit ton of matches, obviously, but that for sure is like one of them on my card. So yeah, again, was the best match in his retirement tour. It's even better that I think what makes it better is that this match again wasn't supposed to happen. I reiterated the TikTok like once I saw AJ Styles coming out in the TNA inspired
TNA
gear
gear.
with the
Yeah.
trunks and the choker now, like all right, dude, this is gonna fucking bang. And then the cue card that he gave to Alicia Taylor, obviously that showed that it was off scripted as well because even mentioned the Bullet Club being the total nonstop action, being the ace, like even AJ Styles had like the oh shit, like you pulled this out.
Yeah.
So having that reaction was awesome. It was obviously I could tell it was off script. I think it was even reported that it was off script. So just seeing that
Yeah.
natural
He had no
reaction
idea
from
about it.
yeah, he had no idea about it. So just seeing that was awesome and just shows how much class that John Cena has. And obviously, again, talked about on the TikTok here, reiterating the move set John Cena has pulled out during the later half of the retirement tour. Uh, and I again reiterated here in the video that only wrestling can wake me up at 7 in the morning and have me teary eye at 9 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, it was like 2 hours later in the show, but only wrestling can do that, man. That's what we love about professional wrestling. And everybody kept saying like it's a love letter, like this was a love letter to professional wrestling. Seeing him hit the Sister Abigail doing the forehead kiss, like that meant like everything to us. I'm speaking on the behalf of you, but I'm pretty sure you're going to echo the same thing here in a couple of minutes. But that meant like everything to us as Bray Wyatt fans, as someone who met Bray Wyatt, as someone who saw his last match, unfortunately, at live. There's no denying the impact that he had on both of us as fans. So the fact to see him hit that move, I don't even know why during this later half of the tour, like it's never hit me for him to see him do that move. I don't know why. Like you would think, like I would have thought, like, hey, when are you gonna do this to Abigail or like the mandible claw or something like that? But like that, yeah, it meant like so much to me. It meant so much to everybody else. And I think what made the moment even more special was when the whole crowd, and I think that's what I love about the international crowds.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think the U.S. crowds would do it too. I'm not saying we're dumb, but like if you're in a weird, awkward town, like maybe they don't do it. But the fact that international crowds are one of your more smarter, intelligent, fact they right away went to the Fireflies, and you could tell that moment meant a lot to Cena. He kind of looked up in the sky, kind of got teary eyed. Like that was just completely awesome. And even AJ Styles too. Like AJ Styles pulled out a couple of moves from other past ring opponents. He did Frankie Kazarian, Samoa Joe, Sting. So even he pulled out his own moveset from his other foes that he's probably not going to see when he retires, which has been confirmed here. It's going to be set for next year. So, yeah, that match was 5 out of 5 stars. The best match on the retirement tour. It's crazy now that we're past the halfway point for this tour. We got 4 more dates left. And I even said in the video, like, I don't care like who it is, who the rumor is. Like, I think the rumor is right now it's Gunther is the last rumor to be the final opponent at Saturday Night's Main Event. Maybe it's Dom. Who knows? Maybe we get a little crazy. Maybe it's Chris Jericho. Who knows? But I don't care who it is. Like, nothing for me is going to top that match. Like, it was perfect from start to finish. Was it the best out of their 5 matches? No. But I just think that what the moment and what that match meant to all of us, I think that just puts it, in a tier where in a class that those other matches may not even hit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I kind of missed something. I'm pretty sure when you talked, I'll probably trigger some things in my brain. But yeah, those are the raw thoughts and the raw just initial reaction that I had to that match.
No, I think you pretty much hit everything head on the nail. Like um I was like glued to the TV for like the whole entire match. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think this was like the longest match between the two. So I think it went like 27 minutes or something like that. So that was I was a little surprised that was the longest match that they ever had. So kudos to them. I mean, to go that long, and obviously they're both up there in age. So, but I mean, you could tell that even like not wrestling for so long or not wrestling each other in between that gap, they still have like that chemistry and they didn't miss a beat. Um, but yeah, when he hit the whole Sister Abigail on him, like I immediately I goosebumped like all the way like up my arm, all the way down my body. Like it was crazy. And like that was my big point was like I think the Australia crowd like really made that moment like 10 times even more better because like as soon as he hit it, like the camera just like pans out and you just see
Yeah.
the whole stadium just like lit up with the fireflies, and like you see Cena like going around, and then he looks up, and even when he did that, like I got my I feel like my whole body just froze, and it was just crazy. And obviously you're talking about like how big of an impact if you know, I think I probably mentioned it on the pod with Adam Gelman, that our son with me and my wife that we middle named him Wyatt, so off of Bray Wyatt. So yeah, he does have a strong connection. We both PC him, Bray Wyatt. So yeah, it was a really good match. It's rewatchable. I think even the next day, like I watched it over again. Like it's just that good. And I know there was like a whole chatter online saying that how the match wasn't like any good because of the finishers, and they're like they just trading finish off each other. I'm like, dude, like you just read the room. Like you're just putting way too much thought into it. Just sit back and relax. Like, I think like Cena even hit like the RKO. He even attempted to punt on him, which I thought was pretty funny. He hit the walls of Jericho, which they actually dropped the move. They didn't call it the Boston Crab or anything, the lion or anything like that.
I don't know if you saw the video today. I don't know if it's ESPN or WWE that posted it. They did like a collage of all the moves that he did, and they showed Chris Jericho on there.
They did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. But yeah, that obviously sparked some extra attention on the internet that we'll probably talk about maybe down the road. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it was a really good match. Again, I piggyback off you. It's one of the better matches of his retirement tour. Actually, this later half has been ever since SummerSlam, I want to say, minus the shit Brock Lesnar match, but I think everything from SummerSlam on. Well, you can include the Punk if you want to include Punk too, but like ever since then, like the matches have just been hitting, and obviously, like even that Sami Zayn match was pretty good on SmackDown when they had the US Open. But yeah, I mean we're close. I mean we're what, like a week away from his next Survivor Series. Is that his next date? Or is he going to be at Saturday? Is he going to be at Saturday Night Main Event on the 1st of November?
I don't think he's on the first. I think his next 4 dates is. I think he has a Raw in Boston.
Oh, it's a Raw in Boston, Raw New York, Survivor Series, and then Saturday Night's Main Event. Okay, yeah, those are the last 4. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, we're almost there. I mean, I don't know who is last. I know I think there was also rumors for Seth Rollins, but obviously that's going to be up in the air as we talk about that here soon. But I know I've even seen rumors of him fighting Dom for the IC title, which is also another prediction that I had not too long ago.
You're just cooking these days, man.
Oof, man. Oh man. Oh, it's getting hot in here. It's cooking. Yeah, I don't know. We have to wait and see. But again, like I said, mentioned before, like that IC title would be, if he gets the IC title, that would make him a Grand Slam champion. So will they pull the trigger on it? Does he care about it? Probably not. But do I care about it? Yes, I do. So just
it's kind of crazy to think about, right? That he's never won the IC title. Granted, I know like during like the highlight of his time on Raw, like he was obviously the WWE champion, which I get that.
Well, because he went from US champion and then he went straight to the WWE title. So
yeah,
usually a lot of those guys don't work backwards. Kind of like The Rock. The Rock went from Intercontinental like straight to WWE. And I know like The Rock never won the European title, and I don't remember what year the European title came in, but like I mean, like at one point, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels were European champions, so it's kind of weird. Like he was around that time, but yeah, it's just one of those titles that's eluded him. So
yeah, every time they mention Dom and him, which I know Dom had a comment about. I think he called him like an old. He called him an old geezer. I think his quote. It's kind of crazy to think about it, but yeah, I would love that, and also I would think cool. I think it would be cool. Obviously, one moment that always talks about with John Cena's career is how WWE did Rey Mysterio dirty after Punk left, and Rey won the WWE Championship, and then lost it the same day within like less than 2-3 hours, whatever that moment was. So it'd be kind of cool. Maybe like they can even draw like callbacks to that. I don't know if they ever will, but I always think that would be like a.
I mean,
like
you can honestly like it doesn't. You don't even have to give like him and Dom like a match at Survivor Series. Like honestly, like what you could honestly do like at Boston Raw, just have him versus Dom, IC title, put the title on John. He gets the crown crown. He's in his town and all like that. the following Raw, why don't you just make it like a fucking fatal 4-way? Put John Cena, Dom, Sheamus, and fucking Rusev, and all three guys. Now he has. Yeah. I throw in Sheamus too, because Sheamus, like, obviously John has his past with Sheamus, and Cena has his past with Rusev, and then obviously now Dom's chasing back his title, and you could just take the title off him that, like, just like that, like, and it's quick. No pain, no hurt, don't hurt nobody.
If that match gets booked, if that match gets booked, I swear we don't have the scripts.
And then there's your entryway to getting Judgment Day back into War Games against, John Cena. Obviously, I'm assuming he's probably going down the War Games route too, but because, Cena's never been in one, so
yeah, he's never been in one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then that last match is just going to be up in the air.
And Survivor Series is in San Diego, which is where Dom is from.
Where Dom is from, yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
We literally just wrote the script for Papa H. There you go, Triple H. Go ahead and take it and run away with it.
Email me. Hit me up.
There you go.
Send me a DM. Paul, let's talk.
Let's talk a little bit. Get him on the pod. Shoot. And he likes opening cards too. He does Topps Chrome. I don't think he's done anything else besides Topps Chrome, but which is weird. Like, you would think you want to promote your products a little more with Triple H, but yeah, he's only done Topps Chrome.
Yeah, I think I've only seen those few videos of him doing Top Crowns, but I'm like, come on, we know we have the inventory, you schmucks. We see you back there, hogging it all up. Like, how the hell do you still have Topps Chrome, dude? That's crazy.
I know, damn. I was like, I know you still ripping Topps Chrome out there, man. I think feel free to send a couple of boxes over our way. But yeah, obviously that was the highlight of the match here, and obviously we'll get closer and closer to John Cena's retirement toward the end of it, and we'll give our final thoughts, predictions as far as who we think the last opponent should be. Is it the right call? And obviously when these dates come into fruition and are actually live in color, obviously we'll go over that there. Obviously, again, as an overall PLE was a fine PLE. Bronson really going over Roman Reigns, something I called there. Was a fine match, wasn't anything too crazy. Cedric Vicker, Tiffany Stratton, also a fine match. It was I say fine. It wasn't great. I think they had limited time, obviously, for the match that followed after that. There's a reason why for that. So I think, if they had more time, I think it could have been a little bit better. So obviously, I'm pretty sure those are two names that are going to run into each other again. I know some people were saying that maybe the right victor wasn't correct. I'm a big believer in Cedric Vicker. Obviously, it doesn't loves her too.
I think they rose the right decision. It was just something that just felt off. Like, it just felt, maybe it was too short. I don't know.
I think in my opinion, it was too short. Like, I think they knew, like, they had to, like, crunch everything in such a short amount of time. I don't know what the runtime was, but to me, it felt short.
I think it was like 10, 11 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, to me, that just feels a little bit short. And then, obviously, I don't think you're going to crown your new women's world champion and have her lose to Tiffany Stratton. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton has been on this mega run as WWE women's champion, so I don't think a loss really affected her in any sort of way. And so, but
yeah, 10 minutes and 5 seconds on the dot.
It felt like that. I think if you give them another extra 5, if you have them do a 15 to 20-minute match, that match cooks a little bit more. But obviously, you could tell they kind of were playing with the clock a little bit and had to rush through that as soon as possible. Obviously, the Cena and AJ Styles, we just talked about that. Obviously, also having was there another match I'm missing? Minus from the Rollins and Cody. What was another one? Is that
it? The Kabuki Warriors versus Io and Rhea.
Yeah. Kabuki Warriors and Io. Yeah, that other fine match there.
I was waiting for Dakota Kai to come out and save the Kabuki Warriors or some shit, but I guess she didn't get the memo.
She didn't have her passport.
Oh, that's what it was. Damn it. Sheesh. Come on.
She didn't have her passport. Yeah. Again, fine match. Predictable winner. Obviously, you're not gonna have Rhea Ripley lose in her home country, so that makes a ton of sense to me. It was a fun match too. Again, the tag team of Rio is absolutely. I love that tag team. It's absolutely fun. I'm going to be curious to see if they keep this going on any longer or when they decide to end it. Time will tell. But yeah, again, great match there. Then obviously the last one there being Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Again, the right victor the right victor in that one as well. I think Seth Rollins needed that win. I talked about it in my video in the TikTok doing the predictions. Like I felt like if you were going to highlight the vision, and obviously that gets a little more complicated after Monday Night Raw, or before Monday Night Raw. But I was saying, like, if you really want to bring some stability and like proof to this faction, like you need to have Bronson Reed win, which he did, and you also need to have Seth Rollins win. Like a loss on either or is not going to do them any justice. And obviously the whole storyline with Seth not being able to beat Cody and things like that, obviously that plays much into it. But yeah, I think it wasn't a clean victory by all means. Obviously, he used the watch or whatever the hell he used. But again, I thought it was the right victor in that one as well. Have no disagreement with any of those there. But yeah, again, I like my star rating scale. I would give this like a solid 4 out of 5. Again, I wish the Senator Curry Tiffy had a little bit more time. The Bronson Reed, again, Roman Reigns was like an okay street fight, wasn't anything crazy. But yeah, I would give it
Australian street fight.
I was waiting for like maybe some like kangaroos would come out or some shit, but yeah, overall,
Yeah.
overall, a very, very good PLE. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I know you like your little rating scale, your letter grade scale, so I was throwing it over you before we dive into our much more anticipated wrestling of the week. But yeah, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I think that's a good rating. I think probably I give it like a B, nice solid B.
Man, are you the writer for the ESPN? I think ESPN gave it like a B plus too.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like a B or B plus, something like that.
Yeah, I don't go to who goes to ESPN for wrestling content.
I saw a funny tweet from I saw another tweet. It's from another wrestling podcast. They're called Stats Club Wrestling. I don't know if you ever heard of them or seen them. There's a guy. It's called Jimmy from the Q. After the PLE ended, he tweeted it all. I'll send you the tweet after the. What are you rating this bitch? He added at ESPN after the game WrestlePalooza like a C or a C minor, whatever the hell they decided to give him. But I saw that tweet, man. That should have me fucking rolling.
Hey, man, it's great. You know, we're on a mission to become ESPN's wrestling podcast, collecting the 1, 2, 3.
Collecting the 1, 2, 3, sponsored by ESPN. It's a change after
Sponsored by
this.
ESPN. Yeah.
Sponsored by ESPN. Get your rips over on Fanatics Live. Damn. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
We'll get canned.
Yeah, we'll get absolutely toasted. But now let's head into Monday Night Raw. Again, I say Monday Night Raw, a Monday morning Raw. Monday morning Raw. You texted that to me, dude. I started fucking laughing out loud. I don't know why. I just thought it was so funny. But Monday morning Raw. Again, a very good Raw. I did join in a little bit late just because I did not wake up in time. You know, also time I was supposed to be up for work. I go into work at 8. Raw was at 7, so I woke up like at 7:30, so I was a little bit late. But it felt weird. There's a difference, like having Monday. I know obviously when they're doing the purse stuff, like having Monday Night Raw, like during the afternoon, that felt okay. But Raw being live like at 7 in the morning, man, that just felt fucking weird.
Yeah, it was a mind messer for sure. And I'm like, damn, where's my Little Caesar pizza? Usually I'm eating pizza for when I'm watching wrestling. Instead, now I'm having a ice cold coffee shit for Monday Night Raw, trying to get the crust out of my eyes. Like, it's crazy.
It was fucking weird. Like I didn't know what to do with my hands after in the afternoon. Like I got off work. Usually I get off work. I'm like, all right, cool. I get to do this, and now I'll go watch wrestling. I'm like,
yeah.
Now I gotta watch wrestling.
Dude, so I was in bed like by like 9:30, like dead asleep. Like that's
yeah. It was crazy. Fucking weird. It was fucking weird. But yeah, again, a very good Monday morning Raw. Obviously some big takeaways out of this one here is CM Punk is your number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship again. It looks like that match will more than likely take place at Saturday night's main event, but that is up in the air now. We don't really have a lot of answers to that as far as right now, just because some tournament events did happen. So obviously after that match, the Fatal 4 or the triple threat between LA Knight and Jey Uso, the Vision comes out. They obviously beat up CM Punk, do their normal Monday morning, Monday Night Raw endings as we've seen the last like 2 months, 3 months now to this point. And before we get into that, obviously there was the promo that kicked off Raw, which I didn't see live. I had to go back and watch it, but like major seeds were planted and they were fully grown by the end of the show. Obviously, Seth Rollins, making the statements here like he doesn't need anybody. He's never needed anybody. He doesn't need Paul Heyman. He doesn't need the Vision. Like they needed him. and like he's done this all on his own. He claimed Bronson Reed was a tribal chief because he beat Roman Reigns, and then he obviously claimed that Braun Breaker is the future of this company. Paul Heyman being the GOAT. But yeah, basically planting the seeds that he doesn't need anybody and that they need him and he does not need them, which I was like, oh shit, like, all right, like that, I saw the clips on Twitter. I'm like, all right, like he's planting to see that breakup is going to come sooner, maybe later, but I didn't expect that soon. Because right after what I thought Raw was about to go off air and end on Netflix, Braun Breaker delivers a big spear to Seth Rollins, thus breaking up the vision. He looks at Bronson Reed. He's like, hey, you're with him or with me. Take your pick. And then obviously Bronson Reed gives the big tsunami splash to Seth Rollins. Obviously, Paul Heyman as well, like he's in complete shock, and then raises both of their hands, and then Raw goes off air. Initial reactions, one of the top shocking endings to Raw in a long time, because again, it was one of those things where, for me, the faction never really clicked for me. Like I get what they were trying to do, but I don't know if it was just the repetitiveness of what we were seeing. I don't know if that was it, but it just never really did it for me. I don't know really what it was. It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just like it did what I guess it was supposed to do. I really don't know. But seeing them break up this early was very shocking to me. And then obviously there's a rumor going on right now, and obviously we'll talk about that right now. But initial reactions to the breakup of the Vision.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming this fast. I mean, when you look at all like the rumors and all like the speculations, like it was apparently headed towards like a WrestleMania match between Rollins and Breaker. So obviously still have a long way to go for that. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence with them too. I didn't feel like they meshed well together. I don't know if maybe if this was just like their characters that they play that just didn't mesh. It's kind of like hodgepodge of like just random wrestlers just like grouped up together. Like even when they come out dressed up, like they're not dressed the same. Like it just looked very like it didn't mesh well for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Um but also too, I think this was also like one of like my bigger complaints was like when Raw was kind of like like it was the same stuff every night. Like somebody from the Vision was beating somebody up, and then Jay Uso comes down, or if it's LA Knight, or if it's Punk, or it's somebody is coming down, or Jimmy. Like somebody was always coming down to get in on the beat down, and it just was the same thing over and over and over again. And I think that was one of like the bigger complaints about this group. And even for like Paul Heyman, like I feel like Paul Heyman and Seth kind of didn't like mesh well together. Kind of like the Paul mesh with like Roman, Brock, and if you want to take CM Punk from like way back in the day in 2014ish, like if you want to compare it to that, like he just looked awkward. Like they didn't mesh well together, and so I think that also kind of what just didn't like look right or wasn't really vibing with it. Because Seth, I think if Seth and Becky were like to just stick together, like just the way, basically like the way it was like with the whole Builders WrestlePalooza, where like there was no vision with them, it was just them two. Like that, I felt meshed way better. Like them two characters, because they're both the same. Like that mesh as well. But as a group, I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. But to have the turn like this come this early was shocking. And if it is the rumor that Seth is indeed hurt, then that makes sense. But if for some reason he's not, which I honestly don't think that I honestly think he's hurt this time around. I don't think they would pull this like Vision breakup this early if it wasn't for that. And if for some reason if it is fake again, then I'm really curious to see why they broke them up so fast and to see where they go. Because yeah, I didn't see it this early.
Yeah, no, and to echo and to kind of piggyback that off there, it is rumored that Seth Rollins does have a like shoulder and labrum injury. There is a photo of him in Australia. He was in a sling. I believe it was on the headbutt spot, on the headbutt coast to coast. I
Yeah,
believe is
the
where
coast to
it kind of
coast.
lands a little bit
Yeah.
awkwardly. And you kind of see it there. And then from there, obviously, I think even after Monday Night Raw went off air, you could tell he was holding his shoulder a little bit. and then they walked him off, and then with all the refs there, because CM Punk was still in the ring. I actually saw a funny clip where it was like it looked like CM Punk was about to go and help him, and then he just like dipped or like said like fuck that. That was a view that I hadn't seen before. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking to my wife, Mrs. Mutripio, about it earlier because I was telling her about him being injured. I was like, man, I don't buy one fucking thing with this guy anymore. Like if he's really
Yeah.
hurt or not. Obviously, everything with the whole knee thing and all that stuff. So it will be interesting if he's. I really don't know. Like, can you really pull this off twice though, in such a short amount of time? That's my thought process. Like them breaking up and like them doing this. Like, what does it accomplish? Like for CM Punk to let his guard down, like what is that? What does this do if it's not like? How do you explain it? I guess is my
Yeah. Like
is
if he's
where
not
I'm like,
hurt.
yeah, if he's not hurt and like this is a
Yeah.
work, like right, and if this whole breakup thing, I saw some people saying that like maybe it's not a true breakup, like it's just them to like throw off Punk or like throw this off. Like I don't know how you can explain that. And then obviously
Yeah.
the other rumor that I saw was, and I was having actually a conversation with Big John, which I was on his podcast a couple weeks ago. Roll FD, he had messaged me saying that what if it's like a way to set up war games to have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins somehow team up? And I was like, he wasn't the only one that brought that up. I saw some chat of that online too. That
I
to
honestly
me,
don't.
I don't
I
like it.
think. I don't think that. I honestly don't think they'll ever team up again. I think it's because
That's
I
what I
mean
told
they,
him.
they
That's
they
what I
both
said.
said it. They both said that they'll never team up together. And I think honestly too, like if you think about it, like last War Games, like this whole dilemma too, where like they were trying to recruit Seth to be on Roman, and he refused. So like, why would all of a sudden he want to team up now to go against Division, who's aligned with Paul Heyman, when Roman's like, hey, you're the one who tricked Paul Heyman to betray me. So like that
Yeah.
that seems like highly unlikely. Honest to
Yeah, and
me. I
people
mean,
yeah, and I agree with you 100%. People were drawing the parallels to, like, Roman and Cody working together. I'm like, "But those are 2 different things, in my opinion." Like, you have this so much history with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and obviously Seth
yeah,
Rollins destroying the Shield, 10 plus years ago now that I think now it is. And like, kinda like you mentioned there, how he's mentioned
yeah.
that he hates Roman Reigns, like, he hates that he created him in a sense, and that he destroyed him at WrestleMania 40. Like, I just don't see like there would have to be some heavy ass convincing from the creative. Like they would have to absolutely fucking put pen to paper and absolutely cook in order for that to happen. And if it was to happen, I'm not a fan of it just because again, you've built this long story of them absolutely hating each other and not wanting to work with each other. Like they're to
To me,
what's
it
summertime?
has
Like a
to
month?
it has
What's
to
summertime
it
Survivor
has
Series?
to be at a level of like when they got DX back together the second time around with Sean and Triple H. Like if you really think about it, like Sean and Hunter hated each other from like what 04 to when did they get back together? In 07
Oh
ish?
06.
06 or 07. So you get like
Yeah.
2-3 years worth of like matches, bad blood, bad history, the betrayals and all that stuff. Like it'd have to be something like that. Like something would obviously have to like bring them together. And I don't think it'd be like the Vision betraying them. Like, I don't know. Unless they're both
Yeah.
like, oh, both Paul Heyman betrayed both of us. Like, let's join together. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Although
To
that
me,
does kind of make a little bit of sense now that I'm talking about it out loud. Like they both like get together to come against like Paul Heyman's super group, which is the Vision, what Brock, I'm assuming. Like who else would be on Team Heyman
Austin
in a
Theory.
War Games match? Oh my god. I mean, I don't know. Is that what they're going for? Is that a Team Heyman versus fucking Team Roman, or what? Is that where we're going down?
I don't know.
So so if that theory goes in, so what? It'd be what? Roman, Rollins, Cena. I'm assuming because they're gonna put him in the War Games for against Brock. Like who else are you gonna throw in there? Who are they
If you
recruiting?
fucking want to
Sam,
say it,
the Usos. You throw the Usos in there or Sammy, and then who's gonna be on the Vision side? So you got the Bronze, Brock. Who are the other two? Who do you bring back on their
Austin
side?
Theory.
Or is Oh, okay. Let's for just a giggles. All right. Austin Theory. What? Who are you gonna
He's
throw
gonna
there?
think it
Grayson
goes
Waller.
better than happens.
Oh god. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there has to be more to it than but I do think legitimately he's hurt this time around.
Yeah, I agree. No, I do
Yeah.
legitimately think that he is hurt. I know the rumor and speculation right now that supposedly he's going to be out to maybe even beyond WrestleMania,
Oh
which
shit.
I think that I think that obviously throws a lot of plans up in the air now because I've always been the advocate of Reigns or not Reigns, Rollins have this lengthy reign. Punk, obviously his quest to get back the World Heavyweight Championship, wins it at the Royal Rumble, then challenges Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, has his main event, if that's night one, night two, whatever night it is, and obviously comes out on top. That's always been the way that I've booked it, but I know there's different things that people have in place, and obviously I'm pretty sure WWE also has different things in place as well. So maybe this CM Punk becoming a World Heavyweight Champion again, hopefully longer than 10 minutes. Maybe that does happen on November 1st. Time will tell.
He's already on
Hopefully
the
we get.
poster.
Yeah, he's already on the post at the badass poster, by the way. It's a fucking phenomenal poster. Um, so maybe we'll get more answers on Monday. Obviously, this episode will be out on Monday, and then we'll have our reaction to Raw on Monday as well, following the couple days after that. So we'll learn. We'll see what's going on there. But yeah, it was again. I do legitimately think he is hurt. The picture I saw, the fucking sad
Yeah.
pictures, him and his thing with a
This
fucking ice cream cone.
fucking ice cream cone. Yeah.
I was like, God. So yeah, time will tell with this, and obviously time will tell. We'll tell in about 3 days or so. Time of this recording, we'll tell in less than 24 hours. The time the viewers, the listeners are listening to this. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. Again, there's a lot of other great matches, but obviously those were the big takeaways there. Some other things that followed up with wrestling this week or last week was obviously TNA Bound for Glory. That was a fun pay-per-view or PLE. Do they call them PLEs? What the hell do they call them? Or they call them pay-per-views? They call them
I
pay-per-views,
think they're
right?
called pay-per-views, yeah.
And you technically
Yeah.
could still like order it or buy it through like cable and things like that. Uh, that was a fun pay-per-view. Obviously, we had the final match between the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. That was a fun match. I was kind of a little bit critical of it when it first got announced. I'm like, dude, like, why the fuck are the Dudley Boys coming by? Like, isn't Devon fucking retired? Isn't Bubba Ray fucking doing what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now, hosting a podcast? Like, what the fuck are these guys doing coming back for a wrestling match? But I thought it was a fun match. It was really fun. Obviously, again, so much history and so much titles between both of those decorated tag teams there. Nice seeing Spike Dudley. That was fucking
Yeah.
cool. I thought I marked out for Spike Dudley. It's
That's what it is.
2025. 2025. I'm marking out for fucking Spike Dudley. So I thought that was fucking cool. Some insane spots, some scary spots. I think it was the table spot with Devon where like Jeff hit his head on the back of the ladder, like one of the final steps there. I think that's what I don't know, but yeah, just
Apparently
some.
that was planned from what I read. Apparently he did a lot of people were saying like, oh, like Jeff missed the table, blah blah blah. But from what I've heard, obviously Devon doesn't wrestle anymore, and so apparently he did it like that to protect Devon. Because I think he's even gone on record. Devon's gone on record to say like, I guess one time that Jeff like put his whole body on him like one time, and he like felt it like crazy. So obviously Devon not being a wrestler, that if you look at the video from like there's an angle where you can see the side like Jeff just with his legs, and that's what breaks the table. So for all the people that are like, oh Jeff, this is like it was planned. Like so just chill the
Yeah,
fuck
I didn't
out.
even see it from him like missing the table. I just saw it from the angle where like it looked like he hit his head on like the last step of the ladder. That to me was like the
Yeah.
more like scary part. Like, oh fuck. Uh, but yeah,
Quickly,
overall, what
were you oh, like I got confused. Were you confused a little bit by like table matches rules? Like I was.
very much so. Yes.
Okay, all right. I was like, dude, is it just me? Because like Jeff went to the table so quick. I'm like, that it? He's gone. He's out. He's eliminated. But like, I was under the impression of like, okay, you go to the table and now you have to like leave. And so that's when I was like, oh, like he's just gonna leave now. Like, I'm like, damn, that was quick. And then they kept fighting. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's what I. So it was you go to the table and then you can still stay in the match, but like everybody's got to go to the table. So okay, I didn't know if it was me or the Bud Light that I had just drank and chugged immediately before the match. So, all right, it's good to know that it was that we're
No, it was
on the
not
same
just you
page
because
here.
I had the same thought. I'm like, I looked,
Okay.
I was watching. I was like, wait a minute, is he out or like did he just lose the match? I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I'm like, I played table matches in 2K25 on a tag team, and I went through a table on accident, and the match was just over. And I'm like, oh fuck,
I thought, I was
oh
like, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is that like it? I've been confused by all matches and their rules. Like, I didn't even. This one was well done, but you cleared it up for me. Like triple threat matches have always been no DQs, and never
oh
triggered my
yeah,
brain about that.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
when Naomi cashed in, she hit who she hit with the briefcase. I was like, hey, isn't that a DQ?
The
I was like,
DQ,
oh, fuck it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, but yeah, this
but
match hit like all kinds of like nostalgia for me. Like, and then even like the ending, I saw somebody like compare it to like it was very like Ric Flair esque, where like he was just basically like come and give it to me. Like Bubba knew like he was all right. This is it. It's over for me. Like Devon's knocked down the floor that he went to the table. They kind of just like, picked them up and slammed them to the table, kind of, and yeah, that was it. And I think obviously after the end of the match, the Dudleys took off their boots, gave them to the Hardys, and pretty much signifying like, well, not like the last time they're ever going to wrestle each other, but I think from what I've read that the Dudleys are like even Bubba is like retired, so
yeah,
that's the last of it. So, but yeah, man, as soon as immediately after that match was over, because the wife was watching with me too. Like, I was like, have you ever seen like their first table match from I think it was like the Royal Rumble 2000? Um, so immediately after that match ended, went on over to YouTube, put that match on, and so she saw the crazy spots and compared them, and like obviously how young and crazy they were, especially with the Swanton bomb off like the damn barricade the tables and
yeah,
stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, was it a 5-star? Nope. But was it like 5-star, like an emotion, nostalgia, and memories? Yeah, it was, and that's what matters to me. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
yeah.
Kudos.
Yeah, I tip my cap out to all the talent that are involved there because again, I was very critical when that match got announced a couple of months ago. I was like, man, like they're gonna wrestle again. Like the Dudleys, like can they even wrestle? Like, I knew Devon was retired. I knew Bubba was like still like somewhat active, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, is
Yeah,
he really like how is this gonna work? Especially in a tables match, like how the fuck is this gonna work? But no, they did what they're supposed to do, and the match did what it was supposed to do, and yeah, I think they hit everything there from the nostalgia factor. Again, greatest match of all time? No. Is it the greatest out of their, series of matches? No. But it did what it's supposed to do. So it was overall just a fun match. Some other key takeaways from that card as well. Kalani Jordan, still your TNA Knockouts champion. A little bit surprised by that. I thought she would have dropped the title sooner, just because
to Indy.
that
Yeah.
whole partnership thing. Even when they were doing the team versus which we really didn't talk about when they
That was
did the
confusing as fuck too. I was like, why the hell is she Team TNA and
yeah
Tricks on Team WWE? I mean, no damn
yeah
sense.
Yeah, they did the teams there. Even you could
Ugh.
tell everybody else was confused. 'Cause I thought, okay, maybe she'll drop the title to former WWE talent. Almost lost my train of thought. I was gonna say WWE champion. She was never a WWE champion. Indy Hartwell, which NXT champion. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
NXT
Um,
Women's Champion.
yeah, so I thought maybe she would have came out victor in that one. I think her whole family was there in the crowd too, which never spells a good thing for anybody. I think anytime you have your family in the crowd, you're bound to lose now. That's basically the way it works there in professional wrestling. But yeah, I thought she would have again thought Kalani would have dropped it. Didn't happen. But we did have Trick Williams finally dropping the TNA championship here to Santana. That was long overdue. I feel like that should have happened 2 months ago. But such a cool moment. I'm not gonna act like a Glazer fan Santana. I've never been like a oh yeah, Santana this, Santana that. Obviously coming from AEW as well. Watched a couple of his tag team matches there when we were pretty watching it pretty kind of religiously. But it's cool to finally see him win the big one. His moment with his kid, I believe that was his kid there in the ring. That was a nice little
Yeah,
moment.
it's his daughter.
Um,
Yeah.
and I know he kind of put out a cool like little Instagram post like talking about his father and things like that. So it's very cool to see him get his flower and things like that. So we interested to see how that plays out in TNA. Hopefully, I know people have been talking about this partnership with WWE and TNA. Maybe it hasn't been the best, or maybe it's been more WWE than TNA. But hopefully, this can. I think we're finally starting to see a little bit go TNA's way, kind of seeing the benefits of that. Obviously, Team TNA did get the victory over Team NXT on last Tuesday. So it's nice to see that as well. Which Ricky Saints got pinned. That was kind of crazy to me. I think he was going to get pinned so early, especially since he just won NXT or since he just got newly crowned NXT champion. But yeah, overall was a fun card. Don't know if you have anything else on the Santana match or maybe on the Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell. But yeah, I thought overall was a very fun match, a fun card as well. I know some people were kind of talking about like one of the best pay-per-views in a while. I really can't say too much because I don't watch TNA pay-per-views religiously, but this is obviously one that we
Yeah.
talked about where we're gonna watch. I'm like, and to me, it was a very good card.
Yeah, I really don't have like much on the whole card esque. Like I said, I really don't uh, pay attention to TNA that much, other than like the little clips I see here and there, like on Twitter, and then the shenanigans that go on NXT that I watch every now and then. But yeah, as for the Santana, like I'm like you, I really don't know like that too much about him. I've seen like the interviews from like the Ariel Helwani show, so like I know about like his whole story, like where like his addiction and how he lost his father, and how he went to rehab and stuff like that. So just knowing just that, and then seeing the moment that he had like with his daughter and stuff like that was pretty cool to see. Like regardless of like whatever style of wrestling you like, or whatever show you like that alone was just cool. So but yeah, that's I don't really got much else on good old total nonstop action.
Yeah. So yeah, overall it was fun. I wish there was an easier way to watch it. I believe they do like everything, like they pre-tape everything. I'm not too sure how they release their episodes or when they even air them. I think it's on the TNA Plus streaming, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of pricey if I'm not
I have
mistaken.
no clue.
I have no idea. I think that's hopefully like the thing that I would hope to come out of this WWE partnership with them is that not necessarily like WWE
I
buys
think
them and keeps
I think
TNA.
that's the end goal, is for them to get like a TV deal. Whether if WWE buys them and they come like a third brand, or I don't know. But I think the end goal is for them to get um a TV deal. Because when I went to TNA, when they were here in January, I think. So they had the live show. They recorded matches prior, then they had the live show that went like the first time in like years, and then they recorded another part, and then they were here the next day on a Friday, and they pre-recorded that for the following week. So I don't know if that's what they're still doing, but yeah, I think the end goal of this is to get like a TV deal. So
TV deal.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that's yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, basically kind of like the way TNA, I mean not TNA, AEW, like they want to kind of be at that S level, because people, I don't know, I don't watch AEW as much as I like. Sometimes it's just hard for me to follow. Like I think I talked to you like one time, like off the before we started recording, like when they were doing that whole residency at the old ECW arena, like one match, and like after the first match, like I ended up falling asleep on it, like, and it's just I don't know, sometimes it's a little hard to watch. I feel like sometimes in AEW, like I mean, it's kind of like sometimes WWE is a victim of it too, where it's just like real repetitive, and sometimes in AEW, I feel like it's just the same like shit over and over again. But I don't know. Speaking of AEW, if anybody knows where Andrade's at, let me know. I'm worried about him.
He's gonna be gone for a long time. I know we're talking about our pods, but man, that
Well,
dude, I don't know what the fuck.
we won't talk about it too much, because I know there's a lot of like ifs and about what's going on with that dude. But the dude came, joined the Don Callis family, and fucking dipped. So if anybody knows where he's at, give me a tweet.
If one of the AEW sickos can give us an update on that, please let me
Yeah,
know. And what the
yeah.
hell is that Don Callis family? There's like so many members in that family now.
Dude.
Like, dude, I saw a picture of it.
I
Oh,
don't,
like, dude, that's so
I
much.
don't know. That's one thing too. I don't. I need understanding. Well, not necessarily Don Callis family, but like I always see like one of the, like their bigger arguments about like AEWs, that like they basically like killed and gutted New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I don't really know much about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know like one of their guys just from the Don Callis family like won the IWGP title or something
Yeah,
like that I'm aware of. Um, so but like I've heard like arguments on the internet saying like AEW's killed them, and like Tony Khan's like basically gutted our top superstars. Is it true? I don't know. I don't watch either or. So if anybody in the comments knows about it, please shoot me a tweet. Let me know. But yeah, that Don Callis family is fucking ridiculous. Like they got guys that are like just chilling in the background. They got evil hologram there. They got that guy who almost killed fucking Adam Cole in there. With the fake
conflict.
TNT belt. Yeah, Colin, there you go. With that also glorious TNT title that people love. But yeah, I don't know. That group is just like a bunch of like, we don't know what to do with you, so let's just throw you here.
throw you
Dude,
in
it's
a
basically
dog
almost
pass.
it's almost like an NWOS, dude. When the NWO was getting that big, where they didn't know what to do with you, you either join the NWO or get your ass beat by the NWO. I feel like that's what's happening. So watch out, Mark Briscoe. They're kicking your ass a lot. I don't know if they still are. Last time I was watching, they were kicking the shit out of his ass. So I don't know.
Last time I saw Briscoe, he was feuding with MJF, I think.
See, and then like the week before, I think I had saw that, and then like the week prior, he was like fighting somebody from like Don Callis and his family, and I don't know, his ass by them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, I
Mercedes now
wouldn't.
is a 10 belts
belt,
Monet now.
fucking insane.
Can't even name like maybe more than half of those belts. I saw. I don't know what the most recent one she won, but like somebody posted the name of the belt and like somebody had quote like tweeted and they're like the what belt? Like they were like so confused like what the belt was. Like
Let me see.
I don't know.
Quick glance on Twitter here.
10 belts Monet. Nah,
What the
I love
hell?
Mercedes Monet. It's just the whole belt thing is just not clicking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
It's not
What the
clicking.
hell is this? How the fuck does she have 10 belts too? That's fucking
It's
like
all
what
those
promotion?
indies, those little indie programs that are I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's crazy, and I'm still convinced that Owen Hart thing is not a belt. It's a fucking like it's not a belt. Like, pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, I'm
And I've
not seeing the
seen
name.
TNA. I've seen like diehard TNA. I've seen diehard like AEW people say that that's not a belt too. So I'm like, the second they're saying it, like, come on, not a belt.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a name for it, but yeah, I just see that picture of her with 10 belts. She's holding 2 in the promo. They show off a table with like 8 other belts. It's fucking insane.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
can't
ridiculous.
imagine traveling with all the damn belts.
How the fuck does that work?
Sheesh, that must be a big suitcase to
That's
carry all
that's
those
being
damn belts.
that's being pulled over by TSA too. I heard TSA likes to just pull those people and like to look at them.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too.
I worked with TSA. I'll probably do this shit.
Uh,
All right, let me see the belt.
there's about
Uh,
oh,
but yeah, there's our AEW talk. So for the people who say we don't talk about AEW too much, there you go.
there you
I
go.
had somebody tell me that one time. I was like, well, there you go. There's your AEW talk. I don't know anything about it, so there you go. So feel free to
They are going to be
enlighten me.
in our. They are going to be in our town here the next couple of days. They will be
Oh yeah, they are
recording.
right.
Well, yeah, Dynamite's going to be here, and well, obviously, I think they record Collision afterwards.
Yeah,
Assuming. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how much tickets are. I wouldn't mind going, sitting in the little, all the stickles in the pictures, see what it's really like. Maybe some,
feel the sicko energy.
yeah, get a little sicky.
Yeah, I would have to. I wouldn't mind going. I would have to take the prices.
Yeah, it depends on the price too. Yeah, I
Speaking
can't
of,
imagine to be that much.
yeah, can't be that much. Speaking before we get off of AEW, you see the fucking Darby Allin interview with Errol Lonnie?
I have not, but I know I
You didn't
saw that
see
he's gonna fight. Or I heard I think it's at Wrestle Dream. He's gonna fight John Moxley. I'm like, oh my god, I can't imagine
Yeah,
the
there's a
shit they're
clip of
gonna do in
him.
that match.
There's a clip of him pouring water. Like he gets up, they give him a mug full of water. Instead of drinking it, he pours it on himself. It's like what the hell? And he's like,
That
1
dude
minute.
is
And
deranged.
then he does it again. And then he was on Barstool's podcast with Robbie Fox, and he's like, "Has anybody ever gone to that table before?" And Robbie's like, "No," and he does like a backflip on the table. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's the guy we got doing media. But hey, it is
I
what
did
it
see
is.
his little comment, or I think it was Ariel Hawani who asked him about. I think it's probably the clip that's going viral or the more watched clip
Yeah,
is where I guess he asks him about like how the back or how it is like backstage, and he says like, "Oh, it's good now. Like the cancer's gone." I'm like, who the hell is he talking about? That's
yeah.
gone.
People were
Like,
like trying to make it inferent, like it was about Punk, and then like there's another clip. I think it's like a minute or like 2 minutes later. Errol Lonnie asked him like, "Was it CM Punk?" And he's like, "No," like because him and CM Punk are friends, and like he's talked about it. Um,
is it Jericho?
Jericho. Some people were saying Jericho. Somebody was saying Rusev. Um, somebody was saying
Come
who
on.
else did say? Who
He
else
was
did he
even on
say?
TV. How are you cancer if you're not on TV?
Fuck, I don't know.
Oh,
Some
it
people
must
maybe
have
were
been
making
this.
references to Cody. I was like, what? I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know, but
very
yeah, people
confusing
automatically would.
because like TNA doesn't. I mean, I keep on thinking fucking TNA. AEW doesn't like release guys, right? Like they don't always have like mass layoffs, so you can kind of like pick and choose. Like, all right, there's been so many releases, like
Yeah,
that or who are not even on TV anymore, and you can kind of like just like kind of hard to pick and choose. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting comment. So I'm curious.
yeah, I thought it was interesting, and
Was it
everybody
was it
automatically
Brit
went to
was
Punk.
it Brit was it Britt Baker? I know sometimes she gets a bad rap backstage too.
Oh yeah, I don't even know if
She
she's been on
know
TV recently. I haven't seen her in
she
forever.
hasn't been on AEW TV in years. Well, not
Right?
y'all
It's
don't
been a
say
while.
years, but maybe I'm over
It's been a hot.
exaggerating,
It's been
but
a hot minute.
it has been a minute.
It's been a minute.
I think when she last fought Mercedes was the last time I think I saw her. Whenever the hell that
That
was.
sounds about right. Yeah, and supposedly that was a flop.
Yeah.
Like supposedly there was issues with
That
that.
match was not good. Like it was very stiff. It was very Charlotte Tiffany-esque in a sense, if I remember it correctly. That's kind of like that.
Yeah, I think
So
I remember hearing the same comparison, or not obviously not that same comparison, but like remember hearing that it was stiff, like it was bad, and then like they really didn't mesh well. I think there was issues backstage too, if I'm not mistaken, which
yeah.
stems to the backstage question. But yeah,
There you go.
everybody went. Everybody automatically, of course, everybody when everybody talks about
Punk.
backstage cancer and that they went automatically go to CM Punk, and he like automatically shot that down. I was like, no, like we're friends, and like it's just a thing where CM Punk didn't mesh well in that environment, which shit happens. That's the deal. And he even said that too. Like, there's just some guys who are WWE guys. There's some guys that are AEW guys. That's just the way that this is. And like he even says that himself. So yeah, I thought it was like pretty interesting. But I found the
Mhm.
him getting a water jug and not a water mug and, and pour it on himself
I'm
was like
gonna
interesting. And
I'm gonna have to watch it, but
he never explained it.
that dude's such a
But
trip.
yeah, dude's fucking wild. But yeah, that was majority of our wrestle talk here. Again, we missed about 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure there were some things that we missed that were probably some key moments, but maybe that we'll save some of those for final thoughts. Because I do have one in particular. But obviously, before we get into our final thoughts here, obviously, Top's Finest has been out for I think it's going to be almost a month
Almost
now.
a month? Yeah,
Yeah,
almost.
almost a month to this point. Um, I don't have too much on Finest. I know we had first initial reactions with Babyface Breaks, and I'm pretty sure he'll be on again soon. So we can kind of talk about a little bit more. But I'm not too sure if you have any thoughts there on Finest. Again, kind of to echo a lot of the same things that I already said. Very fun set. It looks fun to rip. Again, the price points are just crazy that it just doesn't fit the budget. Just for $400 for Topps Finest, it to me has never been that product. You can make the case for Chrome and maybe some other sets there, but for Finest to me, it will always be like a $200, maybe $300 max product. So $400 to $500 is just something that I'm not going to muster. But yeah, a lot of the autographs are cool. The inserts, the parallels are great. I know we've had some pretty big autograph subscriptions already pulled. The Queens of Queens by Stephanie McMahon was pulled. The Rock, Can You Smell It, has been pulled. Ironically enough, by the same breaker. Made a video about that. Chicken Man 1 of 1. Obviously, we had ASB on here earlier with this specifically Babyface Breaks. They pulled the Seth Rollins. There's been some other big cases, some pretty big cases. I think the other big ones, from my knowledge, are still out there. I believe the Cerebral Assassins is still out there, from my knowledge, and the Kings of Kings Triple H autograph inscriptions are still out there. So those, from my knowledge, have yet to hit the market. But obviously, I know you and I have both been watching breaks here. Has your viewpoint on Finest changed at all? Are you still a fan of the set? You still buying breaks? I know you had maybe that's your final thought here, so I don't want to spoil it too much. But I know you had some people that you were watching. Um, has your mind changed on Finest as we're now, approaching a month or at a month now since the release of the product?
Yeah, I think what I last said, I don't even sure. I can't even remember what I last said, but I think I said I was like a fan of like some of the cards. At the time of the recording, I actually hadn't like physically seen the cards. I just seen it through images and stuff like that. So now that I've done a couple of breaks here, and starting to get the cards in, I am a fan of them. Like just for like break wise, I think I don't remember. Some of them are like random wheel spins, so I wasn't lucky on those. I can't even remember who I hit on some of those. But like spots that I've personally bought, I bought Zarya's spot in a break, and I pulled. I mean, she's kind of hard to pull, but I pulled like the what I call it, the checkerboard. I call it an X Factor.
Yeah.
I pulled her X Factor rare version of the card, so that was a pretty good hit. And then in another break that I did, actually I think we did together. the home is over at Cards and Culture. I got Julia for a pretty good deal, and I ended up pulling a numbered checkerboard card of hers from her. I think she's uncommon in the set. I honestly can't remember
Yeah,
now, or if it
uncommon.
might be
Yeah,
common.
he's uncommon.
And then I pulled 2 base rare cards. They're good looking cards. I like them. I bought some singles. I bought like the people that I PC. So I bought like my members like Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, people like that. I picked up Uncle Howdy's base finest autos. Like I know that I think that the whole finest autographs, like some of them like look kind of wonky. Like I've talked about like Lola Vice's card images just looks kind of weird. But Uncle Howdy's, I love it because you can actually see the white 6 members in the background.
Yeah.
So I think that like autograph, I thought that was pretty cool. So I had to pick it up. But yeah, I'm just like I think I'm kind of through with the breaks. Again, it's just kind of at this point just like buying singles for the people that I kind of just PC and just kind of watching breaks here and there. But yeah, I mean, now that I think we kind of mentioned it already, but like it was going to be like one of my final thoughts. But one of the persons that had highlighted the last time we talked, before we did the preview of House Finals, I was talking about was Kendall Gray down from NXT, and people probably like, oh fuck's this guy talking about? Well, shit you not, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna hit you with some knowledge. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was last night she won the Evolve title, which Evolve is like I think like the developmental of the developmental. So it's like NX, so it's like Evolve, and then it's NXT, and then you, like your main roster and stuff like that. Shit, it might be LFG. I don't watch LFG, but I think it's probably LFG. Then
LFG, the
Evolve,
way
and
I
then
think,
NXT.
the way I explain it, or the way I think about it, it's LFG, which is like I think they're tough enough.
Like they're tough enough, right?
Evolve, which is like their true developmental, and then NXT because they sort of treat and they were talking about it when they were doing like the AEW Wednesday battles. Like it's its own true brand. So you have NXT and then you have Raw and SmackDown, your main roster. So yeah, it's kind of like that's the way I always view the
Yeah,
ladder as far as that.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, if you don't know who Kendra Gray was, that's a little background. She was wrestling on Evolve. She's here and there on NXT. You might see her more commonly paired up with Ren Sinclair and stuff like that. But anyway, she won the Evolve title the other day or yesterday, which would have been Thursday. What's today? Thursday, I think is when she won the title. Anywho's doing some like we're doing this. I was looking at it last night, honestly, and I saw the prices and I was like, God damn, like what the hell higher market like kind of went up. Obviously we were talking about this before, so just for clarification, like a base card of hers, which only she's on in the rare spot. She's got one single card in this whole 300 card set. Basically she replaced Logan Paul. That's basically what happened. So her base card last on September 27th, it's off like $5-7, which is kind of what you would kind of pay for somebody who's like not well established and stuff like that. So 30th, she had a gold refractor that was numbered to 20 that sold for $124 and some change. Right. All right. We'll keep going a bit. She had one that sold October 2nd, so it was about a week and a half ago. Now she's up to $200. Same card. Then you have another one here that was a couple of days later for the 20th, so for 209. So she's going up. And then most recently, October 12th, which was 4 days ago of this recording, so for 220. And the next, the 13th, same card, number to 20, so for 235. So, I mean, if you can if you can try to buy cheaply, looking at some breaks, I've hardly ever seen her like by herself. She's usually probably grouped up with like other Ks, which is what stickers probably mostly do. Or if they do those god awful cereals, like I can't stand cereals, it just drives me crazy. Yeah, that may be worth. I'm not telling you to go buy her. I'm just saying, hey, market's going up, but I'm not telling you what to do.
We had the alpha 2 weeks ago. So if you listen to the alpha 2 weeks ago, you're the ones buying the $5-7 base cards. But now they're looking at it here like on eBay listings as you were speaking. So
Yeah, I think
again,
there's
her
very
card,
few listings too, right?
there's
Listings right now,
very
if I'm not
few out there
mistaken.
right now. Like there's not a lot out there right now, just because again, she only has the rare, which obviously it's rare, it's harder to pull, but like a die cut refractor at a 25, that's $275 buy it now or best offer. Just one, this one guy, this one seller knows what he's doing here. Kendall Gray, 2025 Topps Finest WWE Rare Rainbow Refractor Rookie RC NXT Evolve. That's
There
for
you go.
149 or best
That's
offer. Uh,
that guy knows. That guy knows biz. I know.
One guy, one other listed here. Same thing. Kendall Gray, 2025 Topps Finest WWE Rare Rookie Shield Attitude 284 NXT Evolve. That's for 89.99. Again, 89.99. A die cut, or I'm sorry, not a die cut, just a red out of 10 is 699. So yeah, her stuff is out there. It's pricey. And it also helps that one, she's not just like your typical like women wrestler, looks fine and whatever the case may be, but like she can actually wrestle. If you guys don't know, she does actually have like a strong background in wrestling. Kind of reminds me of Kurt Angle. She does like she has the straps on like the singlets. So kind of reminds me a little bit of
Gotta
like
watch
Kurt
out.
Angle.
Watch out, Maxine.
Max, yeah, watch out, Maxine, which that was gonna be one of our little thoughts here. But yeah, for somebody that can actually wrestle, I wouldn't be surprised if once more involvement's happening on NXT when she gets to call to the main roster. She's only been on the roster or been involved with WWE for 2 years. So the fact that they're already
Yeah.
trusting her, like, yes, it's a developmental title, but I know Booker T came out with something very interesting like lately. He's like, basically, if you're on WWE or within WWE and you're in their like developmental brands that's Evolve, NXT, LFG, like you basically have like 2 to 2.5 years to make a name for yourself and like to do something. So within that time frame, maybe that's your little bit of your alpha too. Like if you're really into prospecting the next future WWE champion or WWE women's champion or whatever the case may be, you want to find the next top star in this hobby. Maybe it's looking at those people. Granted, it's more of a buy, you set it aside, but obviously they can have those instant gratification if they win a big belt, things like that. Tiffany Stratton-esque, people like that. But yeah, her stuff has been blowing up recently. I know you again brought it up to before we got on the pod. Immediately going to the marketplace and looking for some stuff here. So that's gonna be a name to keep an eye out for in some breaks potentially and see maybe we can find some things or maybe go through some dollar boxes at some future shows that maybe some sellers are not aware of too much.
Honestly, I feel it might be too, like where a lot of these like maybe not be like the most diehard or like know everything about wrestling. Like who the hell like Kendall Gray? Like only because honestly, you look at the checklist and you go down it, like she's the most randomest name ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like so not it might not everybody might not catch that. And I know not everybody watches Wild. I don't watch a Wild like on Tubi or some shit like that.
Tubi.
So I've only seen her from NXT when she's paired up with Ren. So I mean, I don't watch NXT that much. I watch it every now and then. I try to catch the replays, but sometimes I just can't. So yeah, for her to that be her market and see like kind of like what show she's being showcased on, that's pretty crazy. So
yeah,
definitely an eye to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. But yeah, again, that's what we have right now. Again, I know there was some pictures and some first glimpses of the new upcoming set NXT. I was gonna say NXT Exalted, WWE Top Exalted. We'll obviously save that for a next episode here when we have maybe some more information or maybe we see some more pictures of the product. I know there's a rumored date right now. Again, you guys know I don't like to confirm rumors. I confirm actual dates that are announced by Tom, so I don't want to pronounce a rumor or anything like that. So typically I like to wait for a confirmation date from Tops and then we go from there. We'll just let Tops make them so we're like fools when they change dates or postpone things. So save myself that on my end. But yeah, that's what we have here on our end. But of course, before I wrap everything up, plug in our socials and we give off my final thought here. I'll throw it off to you, bro. I know you kind of already mentioned your final thought here, but unless you have anything else here, any final thoughts here for the good old listeners of collecting the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, no, I just got like a quick rant. It's not really more about wrestling. It's kind of just more of like about a hobby-esque rant about like grading. I think I know we've never really touched upon grading here, but I know like when we did our baseball talks, like we used to talk a little bit more about grading and give you like some TikToks of like how to grade your car, stuff to look at and stuff like that. It's been a hot topic as of late. I think like the past couple months, with like PSA is really, and it's pretty good for like if you're new to collecting cars and you're don't know, like you can go on YouTube and you can put like how to grade cars and you're probably gonna find like all these influencers and stuff like that saying like how to prep your cars or where to grade them at, but Anyways, this dumb fuck, excuse my language, this fuck Jeff Wilson, who basically he owns like what sports card with.
Oh please! You're gonna make a point. Man, this is a huge deal that's going down right before our very eyes here.
Anyway, this fucking idiot. He's a big influencer in the hobby, obviously, and he does what he's the owner or creator of this card and crap.
Core Sports HQ,
Such
something like that.
yes. Anyways, this fucking idiot. I don't know if it was his card necessarily because I had saw this on a Reddit post. Basically, what happened is the guy got an email from PSA saying that his card was graded at a higher grading scale. So for those who don't know, for PSA, they basically have, and it's an insurance thing. I get that, but like, so basically, you send in your card, and you have to basically put insurance on your card. Pretty much, you have to guesstimate what you think your card's gonna be worth at before you send it to them. So if anything happens, like it gets stuff like that, blah blah blah, it's insured up to that level. So, but once it gets graded, it can increase your value of the card. Therefore, now you need to be bumped up to a different tier, apparently, and it costs more. So this email came out. Apparently, this guy got, and I don't know if it was his, because I with his name, but I've also seen it
His.
with another person. Was his? Okay, so basically, his card, he paid for a certain level. His card, after they grade it, like, hey, like your card's worth more, so now we're gonna charge you an extra $4,000. And in the body of the email, like PSA is basically saying like, oh, we know you sent your card in. You don't know what grade it's gonna get, but somebody here says your card's worth, and I'm assuming it's a big card because he's getting charged $4,000. And this guy was basically like, oh, like this, I don't care what anybody says, like this is the greatest email you could ever receive, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's the stupidest like fucking thing you could ever like say. So like in a perfect, if you want to put it like in wrestling terms, like I don't know, let's take like who do, oh let's say it's the one of one Rock and Stone Cold Super Fractor that they did in Top Scrum, the inscription. It has inscription. And let's say like you're new to the hobby and you bought a pack or you bought one hobby and you pulled it and you're like, hey, I want to grade it because I want to protect the card. Like if you go on YouTube, more than likely you're gonna find like half these people are gonna tell you to send your cards to PSA because that's what like the hobby for some reason is like trained to do for some reason. Like everybody's just been like mind like it's gotta be PSA, it's gotta be PSA. So you don't know what your card is worth. You only have the one of one, so you send it in, and I think the basic level I think is like what insurance to like $500 if I'm not mistaken, and it costs like $22 to grade, and it costs like $20 to grade. So if you buy that package level, you send your card in. It's also going to take 75 days for them to. Well, first it's going to take them 30 days to scan the package in, and then once they scan it, they now have 75 business days to look at your card. So you pay that. Your card's now been sitting there for a little bit over 3 months. Now you get this lovely email saying, hey, like we looked at your card and we know you think, let's just say you think it's worth $1,000. They're like, hey, we know you think your card is worth 1,000, but we think it's worth 10,000. So because now we think it's worth that, you have to pay us X amount of dollars because we put the value on your card. Like that's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand how people are okay with that, to have like one person just like sit there and like choose a game of what they like. Let's just say that guy was having a good day, or maybe let's just say that guy was a wrestling fan. Is like, hey, you know what? I like the Rock and Stone Cold. Like, let's give it's a one of one. Like, why would we not want to be the in case holders of this card? So let's give it let's give it 10. And I think that's the problem. And this guy was basically like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Like, and I don't know. There's a whole another rant you could go based on this getting stuff, but yeah, I don't it was not too fun. And I know he's getting a lot of heat for his comments too, so I'm not the only one, but yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. So I think this dude has like his head so far up PSAs, you know what, and you know. I saw a comment too, like some guy had left him a comment saying that, like, oh, I think he kind of put like the same kind of thing, like, oh, like if this kid were to pull a 101 and you go on YouTube and like everybody says to go to PSA because that's where we're like, that's where the money's at. But I mean, if you like, I haven't anything, it's been a while since I've done stuff to PSA just because it takes too damn long. But I mean, if you're just looking to store cards, like, or just protect your cards, I mean, there's a lot better companies to get your cards grid. But I mean, I'm not going to promote them out there, but you could do your own research on that. But yeah, I don't know, I like that comment, and just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, this fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think when I saw it, it was, I think, just blatantly like ignorance and like arrogant. The way I read it, like that's just the tone of him in general. Like, obviously, I'm a little bit more involved, and I obviously involved in more in the content creator space when it comes to like wrestling, or like rather not wrestling, but cards in general. So like already knowing him and his personality, and like reading that, it was just like complete like ignorance and like arrogant. Um, but yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think it's very stupid. I think it's hard to say because, like, when you send your cards to PSA, granted, we grade together, and I've never had that happen to me just because I don't send expensive cards to get graded, or I have, but they haven't, for whatever reason, have never exceeded the $500 value. Um, so like I've never gotten that email before, thank God, because like sometimes like it's expensive enough to send cards to get graded, and now you're forking out another extra because somebody else values your card at this X amount.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Um, Obviously, when you do grade with PSA, it does acknowledge that, like, you are aware that if your cards are going to be graded by PSA and they think it's worth more than what you think it is, then they obviously have the ability to charge you a fee. And if you want your card back and want your card to remain that grade, like, you're obligated to pay them. Um, so I mean, I know I saw some people making that comment too of like, well, PSA makes you aware. Like, yes, they make you aware of it, but it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
And I think with that too, and you kind of hit it there a little bit as far as like you Google where to grade your cards or how to grade your cards. 10 times out of 10, it's going to be majority of the influencers, content creators, whatever the case may be, are going to tell you PSA. Um, and I
And
think that
probably a lot of these guys, just really quickly, a lot of the influencers that you're probably bringing that are coming up, like they probably have videos that are like, come with me to the card show and spend $10,000, and come with me to this
yeah,
card show and spend $25,000, or watch me do a $5,000 trade. Like, it's like not everybody has like fucking $4,000 just laying around, like,
exactly.
So
Yeah,
I think that's, and I
exactly.
think that's also owned out, that they think a lot of these creators just don't understand, just because they're obviously, we're not in their spot and they're not at ours. So like, just some of us just can't nilly-willy afford to give PSA an extra $4,000. And I think that was the other, like, he left this comment too that fucking pissed me off. Like, he put, imagine you're at a blackjack table and he's like, and you win $50,000 and then you tip the dealer 4K. I'm like, who the fuck to tip that dealer 4K? Like, honestly, give me 10 people, line them all up, and tell me like every single one of them is gonna tip 4K. Like, I
Yeah,
see,
I
it's
saw
not
that
gonna
one. That was
go.
insane.
That was even, yeah. So
Yeah,
dumb
I
to
saw that
me.
one. Like, you're not helping your case here. Um, but what I was gonna say, like, with that too, is like you Google it, and yeah, 10 times out of 10, it's gonna be people saying to go with PSA. And I will say that it's majority of the hobby's fault for that. Because as much as we like to complain about PSA, we complain about their wait times, etc. Like, there's a reason why they're able to do this, and until now gets a lot of eyeballs to it and gets a lot of attention, is because of the value that we put into PSA slabs.
Into the
And I
cards.
think, and
Yeah.
I don't know if people like, I don't, I don't, I'm pretty sure that's been said, but like, we're the ones that make the hobby, right? Like, we're the ones that make what this is. We're the ones that, I don't want to say control, but like, we decide what a card is worth. We decide what stats we value. And as a general consensus with every sport and every hobby involved, like, they've determined PSA is the king of kings. Why is that? I do not know. I do not have that answer. With all these setbacks, with all these wait times, the price increases, the inconsistencies with grading, the subjectivity, um,
The
everything like
lack of
that, the
transparency.
lack of transparency. And if you do want transparency, guess what? You got to
You
pay
gotta
extra
pay
money
for
to
it.
them.
Yep.
Like, all these factors go against PSA, but yet we as people still value PSA. And that is just the way it is. And why that way it is, I do not have an answer for that. It's going to take a large group of individuals to change that. Um, a year ago, I would have loved to have said that was SGC, but that's not it anymore, just because now the collector company, their parent group, owns SGC, and they've now, whatever the fuck this means, make SGC a boutique grading company. Whatever the fuck that means.
I think it's meant to be like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like
is it like
show,
Topps Chrome
kind
or
of like
Topps Finest?
Kind of to be like a show. Like it's not like worth a lot. Like instead of have like a lot of value, but you just want to like show it off is kind of what I made it seem like. I don't know if that's the right term. That's why they scaled back so much. Like they took like basically like a lot of the SGC employees and sent them over to PSA. And so that's why the SGC like doesn't run like their deals anymore. They haven't gone back to their $10 like turnaround time. But I think in their mind, if they're like, hey, if we can get like little lesser known cards in SGC and still get like $15 off them, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that's what they meant. Yeah, it's not a bold move, but that's what they did. But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's like we can probably do like a whole probably on this whole fucking thing, but it's like the way the hobby treats like PSA 9s. Like they basically they've also trained people to be like it's basically a mint or it's worthless, and I think that's also the problem too. Like, I think there was like one guy that I follow on Instagram. He had a pretty sick card. It was a wrestler. What was it? I think it was an Alexa Bliss auto, and I think he got like a PSA 8 or something like that. But he was basically like, I know it's an 8, but I'm like, dude, like it's still a sick card. Like, then I think that's the problem. Like people just, it's basically like we're in the day of age where it's like gem mint or nothing, and it's the price point between the 10 and the 9 is just insane. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't think a raw card should be equal to a 9. I think a lot of people feel that way, but until the market said differently, that's unfortunately where we're at. It was funny too when I was at Boomtown. We can talk about it later. I can tell you off the phone. We'll fucking be here all day talking about this shit. You fucking anger me, Joe Wilson, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I was like, stupidity tweet, stupid comment. But it takes a group of individuals, a large group of individuals, that if we do really want to see change, innovation in the hobby, we're a part of that. And it's what that company is, if it's SGC, if it's CGC, if it's Beckett, if it's an AI company that's been on the rise, Tag, any other grading AI company, whatever that other company, like, it's going to take a group and a hobby, a community of people to really start to value those in order to see a change in grading and things like that. And again, this could be a full episode, and maybe that's something that we do. Obviously rating wrestling cards is very niche. I would say a 0.001 of this big old ecosystem of the hobby. Wrestling cards in general, I don't think
a lot of wrestling cards are like pop general wise are very low. You don't really see every time you look up pop, like it's always like pop 1 or like pop 10,
pop 2,
it's
pop
very
3.
low.
Yeah, it's very low. So it's a small like little niche, and that's a different conversation. Maybe we do dedicate a whole episode to that and talk about the pros and cons of each company, or like grading your cards and like what you truly want to do with grading your cards. Are you trying to resell and gain value? Is it to protect your cards? Do you like an aesthetic of a slab? Like that's a whole different conversation. So please, by all means, if that's something that you do want to see for an episode, I do recognize that we do have a lot of new listeners, new watchers, things like that, who are coming into this hobby. That's why I created this podcast. So, if you're into wrestling, want to get into the hobby, how to collect the cards, how, I'm not going to tell you how to collect, but, what sets are coming out, things like that, bringing that information, knowledge. And then you want to take it a step further. If that's grading your cards, how to do that too. So if that's something that does, potentially sounds interesting to me already as I speak about it. But if that's something that you guys want to listen to or watch for 30 to an hour minute podcast episode, that's definitely something that we can definitely do. Maybe even have a guest too. I know we have some individuals who do grading and stuff like that. So that's something definitely that we can weigh out. But yeah. Final thought here on my end, really quickly. Maxine Dupree to the freaking moon. I have been buying a lot of her cards. Not a lot of her cards. I've just been watching a lot of her cards and buying a couple of singles, been buying to a couple of breaks. Her match 2 weeks ago on Monday Night
We
Raw. against
didn't
Becky Lynch.
we didn't even talk about her match, right? We didn't even do the
No.
pod.
No,
Yeah, just
that
talk about
was that was
Man,
that week of Crown Jewel or the
oh,
weekend
okay,
leading up
that
to
makes
Crown Jewel.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you killed it, man. That was fun.
Yeah, she freaking killed it. Got a lot of eyeballs to her for good reason. Absolutely phenomenal match. Obviously, I think a lot of praise also goes to Becky Lynch because this run has been a lot of it has been making a lot of people look good.
Becky, yeah.
Lyra, Nikki, Bella, if you want to say that, but mainly Lyra, Bailey, reigniting that feud again. So it's been a lot of fun. So obviously, a lot of praise does go over to Becky Lynch, but it doesn't ignore the fact of the work that Maxine has been putting. I actually really follow her. I already have followed her on Instagram already, but she does like training videos. Like she's been training at the dungeon. Obviously, she's been training with Natalia.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's their on TV partnership, so it makes sense why. But yeah, that shit paid off perfectly. So I'm a big fan of Maxine Dupree right now. I've been buying a little bit of her card, been buying to a couple of breaks, specifically for her spot. So maybe something comes out of that. I think will she win the IC title on Monday Night Raw because she is challenging for the belt on Monday Night Raw. Maybe that leads to more disruption of the Vision and Becky because she's technically part of that group now. So maybe that's what leads to it. Who knows? But yeah, Maxine Dupree to the freaking moon. Again, I'm not telling you to go out and buy all of her cards and buy her one-of-ones, her autos, but watch out for Maxine Dupree. Watch out for Maxine Dupree. Her autos again have been spiking. I was watching a couple of them like last week. They were a normal, like an auto that was maybe like 10-15 bucks is now like 40-50 bucks. So yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, her undercards there, some graded slabs are like 100, things like that. So yeah, Maxine Dupree. If you could find some old listing somewhere, or maybe go to a card show, a dealer who hasn't maybe priced out his cards recently, maybe you want to keep an eye out there for Maxine Dupree and maybe your future IC champ. But that is what we have here on our end. Again, thank you guys for listening. Again, I apologize if you guys are looking for our Crown Jewel prediction episode. I apologize if you were looking out for that and missed it. So I do apologize for that. But we are back on our regular scheduled programming. So we'll be back every week following through here, especially as we get closer to the end of the retirement tour. And we got some big PLEs coming up here. So we'll definitely and more hobby news coming out. So we'll definitely be getting that here rolling, getting back here on the train. Again, if you want to follow Dad, Ropio here, you can follow him at Dad Who Collects over on Twitter, Instagram. His handle here is going to be down description down below. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see his at there. Of course, if you want to go follow and check out all my other social medias, you can follow me at Moon3PO. Again, everything will be linked down description down below. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do are liking and subscribing. If you're listening on Apple and or Spotify, make sure you are liking and subscribing and leave a rating on it. That definitely shows me, what we're doing right or potentially what we're doing wrong. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening, and we will see y'all in the next one.